Good evening and welcome to Rinkside with Red Hockey. I'm Paul Shuttleworth. This is the match summariser Alan Gould. And last weekend saw Max Babrea get 4 goals in Manchester. A little earlier on, I caught up with him. So congratulations on the 4 goals in the Manchester game in Deeside last Sunday. Must feel good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's important to get something like that going right off the bat, you know, in the last preseason game, and especially for a forward who expected to score a goal. So obviously that's a bit of a confidence boost.
And going into last night's game, quite a tough game in the end.
Yeah, it was really tough for me. I lasted about 11 seconds. It was tough to watch, though. I burned a lot of calories just by watching that. It was a bit nervous in the end because we were up 4-1 and seemed like we were in control, but they made it interesting in the end. But 2 points is 2 points. And I think we got to make a big statement tonight. Tonight is way more important as well.
And of course, Swindon have bolstered their squad over the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on paper, they looked a little bit better as well, and they, you know, raised their expectations. And going back to last season, the first game we lost here at home, I believe, to them. So we don't want to repeat of that, and we're going to try to make a statement.
Thanks, Max. Enjoy the game.
No worries.
The Telford Tigers take on the Swindon Wildcats tonight here at the Telford Ice Rink. Last night, a trip up the M1 saw them head to take on the Sheffield Steel Dogs. How did the Tigers get on?
Last night they came away with a well-earned 6-4 victory, a very scrappy game. The Tigers lost Max Babrea a minute and a half into the game through a penalty altercation which drew blood from the Sheffield player, which meant he sat last night's game. The Sheffield player returned to the ice later, which meant Max is allowed to play tonight. About a minute and a half later, Joe Graham got into a similar situation. He took a late hit, he retaliated with a two-handed swing with his stick at the Sheffield player, and he missed the rest of last night's match.
Both of the players are back in the game tonight, and of course Phil Hill made his first appearance for the Tigers last night.
Indeed, and Phil looks like he's fitted into the squad very well. He looked very comfortable and he came away with a well-earned goal and an assist.
Let's take a look at tonight's action. So, as we start the game in the first period, the Telford Tigers are icing Vladimir Kutny in addition to their squad covering injury while Silverthorne's out. And we win the draw. Peter Szabo takes it back to Sam, sends it cross ice, gets it back. Zajac up ice to Kutny on the backhand, dumps it down low. Szabo comes in, puts the Swindon defenseman under pressure, and they clear it out up the boards, but it's kept in down low. Szabo hustling at the back of the net, trying to feed it in front. It goes up to the point, and a backhand finds its way through to centre ice off the boards. And it's just deep down into the corner. Comes out on the left wing. Swindon put it cross ice, carry across the front. Graham goes for the poke check, backhanded chop from McEwen. Bounces off the boards and he recovers the puck. Weak shot, stick save. And Bolus just shoves the defenseman. Bolus driving down that right wing. Telford clear it out, they dump it down. Selby picks it up, they go for a line change. Selby has a look. D-to-D pass. Nell holding high on the right side, just on the halfway line. Telford, Joe Miller gets a stick to it, but he's picked up off the boards by 21, put through to the slot, and Nell puts it in the back of the net. Nell just gets a tuck to it, the pass came across from Ryan, and that's Swindon's first goal, putting them 1-0 up on 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
Well, as I said earlier, Swindon have had the upper hand, I think, so far in this game, and it was a well-worked cross-ice pass from Sammy Rynan, and Nell stuck his stick out, caught the puck.
19 from 21, the first goal on 7 minutes. Danny Rose off the boards, picked up by Salem. Bullis is there on the puck. McEwen looked to take the body. Now there's a bit of a struggle to free the puck up. Novak goes in and his hand's really high.
Yep.
On Rutkiss, who gives him a little dig with the stick there right in front of us. Salem pushes down, but Bullis comes up with a cross-check.
They're both going off for one.
Salem and Bullis, I reckon they'll go as 2 minutes each. So you've got roughing on Salem, cross-check on Bullis.
And Bullis has just pushed, I can't see who
Maynard it was.
Who had nothing to do with that at all.
And that's gone for a penalty. Now, whether
that wouldn't have been intentional. That's not Max Babrea, but Swindon have gone on and played the advantage.
Now, let's see what he gives him.
They've played the advantage and scored. You've missed that one. Swindon played the advantage there and they've taken
Swindon got the goal, but what's Max going to get? So a goal was scored, so the 2's expired. So if it's a 2 and a 10, he'll only have to sit the 10. He's been ejected out of the game.
And he's gone again for 2 games in a row now. Max Bebre's leaving the ice. What a big disappointment. So there must... Well, that's very, very unfortunate. We joked about this before the game. I was talking to Max and I said, are you looking forward to staying on the ice tonight? You know, it's very rare we see this. It's even more rare to see it 2 nights in a row with the same player. Very unfortunate.
He was really pumped up for the game as well, and I think that reflected. He was tipping the puck over. He was skating down hard and hustling.
Stevie Lyles way out of his net there, plays it well to his own guy.
Rynan, cross ice, gives it back to him. Gets it, tries to knock it on. Swindon go through. Rynan up to the slot to Costerall. The save was made by Thomas Murdy, and then he dropped the puck. He wasn't sure where it was. His defenseman had got him well protected. Then he put the catching mitt over the puck to freeze it down for a stoppage in play. And now a walk in from Novak on the backhand. Shoots. It goes up into the air and drops behind the net, and we come to the end of the first period. A penalty's come up, and that's the end of the first period, but there's a penalty going against, it looks like we've got McEwen and Novak both for penalties when we return for the second period. So the end of the first period, it's the Telford Tigers 0, Swindon 2. Swindon came out firing, didn't they?
They did come out firing. You know, Telford have had a couple of opportunities that they haven't converted. Swindon have taken theirs. I don't think the Tigers are playing that bad.
No.
What we've seen there is a brilliant first period from the Swindon Wildcats. They've shut the Tigers down. They've not allowed them to set up in their own end. They've blocked them out around their own net. And their goalkeeper, Stevie Lyle, has been playing like an out player on there.
And it wasn't for the one to try in. I mean, you look at some of those plays, and the Telford Tigers were really putting the pressure on. They were really working hard. That big hit from Max in the corner as he rolled the guy, ended up picking up a boarding penalty. They successfully killed a 5-minute penalty.
They did, and when you're short-handed, there's a lot more ice space. And sometimes when you've got possession of the puck, killing a penalty, it might sound strange to say, but it can be easy because you've got a lot of space on the ice. You're under no pressure other than to dump it down in the opposition's end of the rink, and Telford have done that quite well.
So let's see if they can get themselves on the clock as we head into the second period and take a look at the action. So, welcome to Rinkside with Red Hockey, the second period of the Telford Tigers versus the Swindon Wildcats. Swindon lead by 2-0. At the end of the period, Costello for Swindon and Novak for Telford both received 2-minute minor penalties. So 4-on-4 is how we start. It's even strength, but with 4 players each. Selby takes it behind the back of the net. The ice is a bit wet and the puck sticks. Now, Cutney goes into the corner, but Swindon take it back. Now, Zabo up to the point. Cross from Graham to Zajac, comes in, shoots, and the puck takes a deflection, goes up into the catching mitt, falls to the floor. Cutney is playing to try and get near the puck, and Stevie Lyle's not happy at all.
He's not, because there was a crowd around him there, and the Swindon defence was straight under Cutney, pushing him out of the way.
Yeah, I think Lyle got his catching mitt to it, and the puck bounced down, and then Cutney was there, and Lyle was almost panicking.
Doing nothing wrong, may I add. I mean, that's what he's there to. He's there to hustle. But,
and he's a big guy to get in Stevie Lyle's way and stop him seeing the puck. Miller curls it up ice, backhands it down low. Plant picks it up in the corner, kicks it forward, gets down the back of the net, changes direction. Tries to get pinned on the board, but Ricky's still reaching out, really strong on the puck. Remains in possession, up to the point. Zajac, Miller gets a tap to it, just goes behind Lyle's net. Nell clears it out to neutral ice and gets sat down by Cutney. Cutney picks it up now. And a great backhanded goal from Peter Zabo. Cutney goes behind the net, backhands it through. Zabo comes across at speed, picks the puck up and scoops it into the net for the first goal of the night for the Telford Tigers.
Well, Cutney did all of the work there. He made a hit, he picked the puck up, he robbed it, he took it in, cut into the net, and as you say, result a goal to Telford.
And a brilliant finish from Peter Zabo, quickly coming across, seeing that puck and putting it high in the net. Cutney drives forward, hits the blue line on the backhand, feeds it forward to Miller. Didn't quite connect with it. Swindon send it down ice. Sam Zajac picks it out the air on the blue line. It drops down and he skates back and sets up the breakout. Telford got 8 seconds with the man advantage. Hill drives the left side, Shot goes corner to corner. Szabo skates in after it to put Swindon under pressure. Swindon now return to 5 skaters. Shot from Hill and a goal!
Right, picked into the top left-hand corner from Hill.
Szabo and Miller working the puck, getting it out to Hill, and just as the Swindon player stepped out the penalty box, the shot comes to beat Lyle on his left side as we look at it, and beats him on the blocker side to bring it back to 2 goals each.
And that's an even-handed goal. The penalty had expired. So
Absolutely.
The pressure has paid off. You've seen from the start of the period, it's the majority of the pressures come from Telford, and it has paid off.
Novak on the backhand just feeds it back to the Telford player. It ends up deep behind the net. Griffiths trying to get possession of it, but just losing his footing. Now the puck's in the corner. Telford carry it out. Getting pinned on the board there. Puck comes out to the slot. Shot. Murdy makes the save.
Thomas Murdy. The game's getting technically interesting now.
This is Rinkside with red hockey. All the action between the Telford Tigers and the Swindon Wildcats. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the highlights of the Telford Tigers taking on the Swindon Wildcats. This is Rinkside with red hockey. To Graham, back to Sam. Sajak behind the net, gives it to Salem on the left wing, forwards it to Hill. He skates through the middle, strong on his stick, tips it to Davis, walks in, shoots, and a catch-in mitt save from Lyle. And he shakes his head and has a word with Hill, and I'm not quite sure whether he's sharing his opinion with his defenceman or Hill. Ruthkis drives forward, makes a shot. Murdy makes the save. Rebound comes out. Novak picks it up, drives down the ice. I think it's White with him. A shot from Maynard. Novak picks up the rebound, takes it around the back of the net, on the backhand up to the point, but it didn't connect with Martin Andre's stick, so it goes right back to Thomas Murdy to set up the breakout. Can't be icing because it was the Tiger player that sent the puck back down the ice. Maynard up to Hill, bounces down to Costa, up, walks in, shoots, and a save. That could have been a very costly mistake from Phil Hill. Puck goes up, drops down. Andre. Through to Joe Miller, curls it through. Szabo, great pass to Cutney, walks in, shoots. The puck drops down and Sivilar makes the save. A great three-way pass and scoring opportunity. Looking, not seeing the net, pass it off. Look, not see the net, pass it off.
There was good chemistry between the 3 forwards there. And interestingly, again, we saw Cutney. He took his shot, he followed it up, and he was the first one on top of Stevie Lyle again.
Yeah, he's right there in front.
He's putting the pressure on, and he's riling that goal at the moment. It's cleared out again by Swindon into the corner. Telford remain in possession.
Graham sends it about 6 or 7 inches just off the ice, just so it's going over the sticks as they sit on the ice. Puck's moving around. Andre down to Salem. Salem has a look, gives it to Plant. Rick takes it around the back of the net, tries to get it in front to Danny Rose. It bounces around. Martin Andre taps it forward to Graham. Goes back down to Plant in the corner.
There's
Forward, Salem makes a shot, and the rebound comes from the pad of Stevie Lyle, and Whitfield comes straight out of the box, walks in, shoots, and a pad save.
And he's brought down, and the referee's calling it. I think that is a bit hard.
Penalty shot.
Oh, it's a penalty shot.
Whitfield came out of the penalty box, which gave him the jump because Swindon were short-handed. The long pass came to him. He was away, and the defenceman hustled back, and the referee deemed it as a trip or a hook. Now, because he was through, it goes as a penalty shot. And for the first time this year in the Telford Ice Rink, we're going to see a penalty shot to Swindon. You hear the crowd get behind Thomas Murdy. Whitfield walks in, pulls it either side.
And a great save from Murdy.
Thomas Murdy closes the gap in his pads, goes across with the shooter. 25 seconds left in the second period. Great play from the Swindon player. They're reaching forward, but Salem carries it forward, delays to Davis, shoots wide. And it just comes off the back of the boards, and now Whitfield's on the break as well. Tries to find Griffiths, fails. Davis intercepts, gives it to Salem. Salem steps over, shoots, it goes over the top. And we end the second period on a 2-2 game. The first period was all about Swindon. The seconds belong to Telford.
Absolutely right. Complete role reversal there. The clear-cut chance, obviously, for Swindon was the penalty shot, and Thomas Murdy stepped up to the mark and blocked that one out.
So that was a very interesting second period. The momentum shift totally from Swindon to Telford.
It did indeed. I think during the first interval, the Telford players must have taken some of the pills that the Swindon players had before the game, because that was complete, I've used the phrase before, complete role reversal. We saw Telford coming out, firing on more than all cylinders. They shut Swindon down. They wouldn't allow Swindon to play. And the result was 2 goals to even up the game.
Absolutely. Now, Cutney and Miller, the chemistry that those guys had, passing the puck almost psychically, and considering Cutney only joined the squad this weekend, is really good.
We saw some amazing play with those guys. I mean, we're very lucky down here at ringside. You know, we're very close to the action. You know, it was a bit of, shall I say, Sam and Conway going on there from the olden days. A bit of, like you say, passing without looking, but you know where your partner's going to be, and it worked very, very well.
And I think they successfully put Lyle under a lot of pressure, which had to happen after what he performed in the first period.
Well, he stood on his head in the first period. You know, we always say this, in once you get a goal against a specific goalkeeper, it can shake the nerves and rattle them a little bit, and that's what we saw. He was becoming very vocal with the referee, asking for a lot of things in that period, and he was also, you know, mixing up a little bit in front of the net. But all in all, Telford had to do a job. They came out and they did it very well.
The question is, what will happen in the third period? Will momentum shift again? Who knows? Let's take a look at the third period action. Rinkside with red hockey, 2-2 the score between the Swindon Wildcats and the Telford Tigers as the puck drops on the third period. Peter Zabo wins it, goes back to Graham. D-to-D pass to Sam Zajac, steps up ice, banks it off the boards, and Miller just tips it in. A kick forward from Bullis. Miller tries to push it past the defenseman, skates down after the puck into the corner. Swindon player gets in front of him, grabs hold of Miller's stick. Miller pulls his stick and spins the player around like a spinning top. The spinning top is the toy that Alan Gould would have played with when he was a boy for our younger viewers.
Yawn.
Off the board, Costello.
After I got fed up with the hoop and the stick.
And you're orange. Salem throws it into the corner. Davis goes in, picks it up, sends it around the board. Salem's back in behind the net, carries it out into the slot. Swindon swinging at the puck and successfully get a turnover. Takes a bounce from Salem's leg pad, so it won't go for icing. Sam Zajac picks it up, carries it round the net. He's pulled back. That's a holding penalty.
No, the referee's not giving anything there.
Not at all. He literally turned him off the puck, and now it's loose in front of. If that had gone into a goal,
I mean, more approach.
Yeah.
I think the 800 referees that are sat behind us all saw that. Obviously, the guy on the ice is nearer.
I understand when a player takes it behind the net into the corner, you want to try and get in front of him, but he literally pulled him back.
Yep.
This is McEwen. Backhands it in.
Sensible play. Plant holds him up very cleverly.
Rose gets a hand pass. Drop to McEwen.
And there's a break now.
Plant goes through.
He's got White
White's
with
in front of shoot. Oh,
and it's saved on the line.
White shot it wide, and I thought it was going to go in the goal from the Swindon defenseman's leg pad. A great opportunity, and it was all the turnover from Rick Plant. Worked his way through, got the pass across to White, shot it, but because the defenseman was on the ice, it hit his leg pad, and I thought it was going to trickle into the net. I think Lyle got away with that one. Plant turns and sets up. Minute and 5 minutes. It'll be a long old minute. Martin Andre carries it through, hits the red line, and Swindon intercept. Malasinski. No. Zalask goes across, and it's in the back of the net.
Deflected. Has it gone in off Murdy?
I was pretty sure I saw it go between his legs, but I'm not sure who it deflected off. Swindon came, and that's really unfortunate for the Telford Tigers because they were all over that in the last 2 minutes. But it just goes to show one quick break from the Swindon player, a bit of a kerfuffle in front of Murdy, and it found its way between his legs into the net. Murdy's gone. Hill's on.
So there's an empty net in the Telford end.
Yep. All Swindon have got to do is get that puck and dump it up ice. Telford, they need to get a shot away. Nell skates in.
And there
Zabo.
it is. Oh, and it's gone.
It takes a deflection.
And it's an empty net. Can he control it and put it in?
He walks it round, and on the backhand, it's an empty net goal.
It goes to 2-4.
So what we thought was going to a tied game with less than a minute remaining will now read Swindon 4, Telford 2. We've got 20 seconds. But you never know what can happen in hockey.
I'm not sure about 20 seconds with a 2-goal deficit, but you know the goals could count at the end of the season, so there's that way to look at it.
Never stop playing. However, you could end up forfeiting another empty netter.
Yeah.
Goes back down. Icing's washed off. Graham will get there. Looks to put the puck up ice. Miller drives to the right side.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Salem winds up, shoots, it bobbles, and at the end of the game, it'll read the Swindon Wildcats 4, Telford Tigers 2. But a great performance by both teams, and so unlucky for the Tigers.
Unlucky indeed. You know, the Wildcats have showed us a class lesson in how to defend, which they did for the majority of that period. And the Tigers have showed us a class lesson in how to attack and camp out in your opponent's zone.
So, disappointing end to a very intense game.
Yeah, disappointed that we didn't, take the initiative and get the next goal and go 3-2 up.
When we break down the game, the first period, there was such intensity and such speed. It was difficult to determine where the game was going to go.
It was hard because we didn't really get out of the blocks well, and we ended up killing a lot through that period. So we didn't establish our forecheck. We didn't get ourselves going and get everybody into the game, which is one of the things that we want to do. To come in 2-0, I was really pleased with the response we got through the second. I thought we worked hard and we created a lot of good opportunities, and I thought we created a lot of good opportunities in the third. But they come back and bite you if you don't capitalise.
Yeah, and in that second period, there were some fantastic plays by Cutney and Miller moving the puck around like they've been playing together for years. Yeah,
I thought it's good hockey, but it has to have an end product. It has to have something that gets the fans out their seat at the end of their play. So ultimately disappointed to lose.
So a disappointing end to a fantastic game of ice hockey between the Tigers and the Wildcats. Next weekend sees the Telford Tigers travel up to Hull to face the new team in the league, the Pirates. And then on Sunday, Basingstoke Bison will be here at the Telford Ice Rink for a 6 o'clock face-off. You can get tickets by going online to tigershockeyuk.com. You've been watching Rinkside with Red Hockey from Telford Ice Rink.